Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about transit North Node conjunct one's natal Uranus. And when you're talking about the North Node in transit, it can often be about issues one may have to confront and address. If something was unavoidable and may have to be dealt with at this time, things in life are inevitable. This could be a time where there may be no choice but to deal with something, but it can often result and manifest in something positive. And when you look at this, since we're talking about Uranus, this could be about issues with freedom and independence. If this is in Sagittarius, it could be about issues about being free to um, really voice your philosophies or opinions, or it might even be matters with the outdoors. If somebody was in a situation with a very domineering, possessive spouse, for instance, keeping them penned up inside for a while. It could be about freedom and independence to meander, to go to other countries. If Uranus is in Sagittarius and you're having this transit of the North Node conjunct Uranus, and also issues with ingenuity and whether you're not expressing it enough, or maybe people are becoming jealous of you because of maybe an innovative nature, as an isolated example. Uranus is also about friendships. It could be about issues with friendships that you might have to address and deal with. If, say, this is in Scorpio, it might be ones that might people that might be jealous or vengeful, or there are people that are going they're just really or maybe involved in criminal activity, as an example, or they might be overly controlling. Also matters with groups and clubs, organizations, society. If you feel like, if you're like in a situation where you feel that society, you feel like you've been ostracized to some degree, this could be a time where you might deal with it, whether the ostracism is coming from within or whether it's actually true. This is the time where you may be forced to have to deal with those issues and make some decisions in what's actually going on with this. And also keep in mind too that Uranus, as far as physically, it's associated with the ankles, the shins, the lower legs. It's the nerves as well. I have um, I have Uranus on a very tight conjunction to my sixth house cusp in my natal chart. So when the North Node transits that conjuncts my Uranus, it could be about issues that I may have to address involving nerve-related problems. I've said this in previous videos that I have at this point in time irrevocable extensive nerve damage, and this could be something that at this point in time, when I do eventually get that transit again, when the transit North Node conjuncts my natal Uranus, that could be about issues I may have to deal with. I have again Uranus in Libra, so it also could be about issues for me, as an example, that might be connected with internet relationships. They might be astrological connections that I may have to deal with. It might be about whether these people are, whether the situation where I'm dealing with these connections, are they realistic? Am I dealing with too many, or are there too little? It's really and I also have Uranus in the sixth house of the daily routine. And another thing, when you're talking about, when you have talking about the North Node in transit, it can often be associated with issues or matters with very impeccable timing, where the timing could be very good. And since we're talking about Uranus, and as far as this video goes, it could be about matters with computers or the internet. You might be doing something with social networking where you're connecting with the right person at the right time. Say if your Uranus is in Sagittarius, it could be somebody that might be a foreigner that you may connect with that could really be beneficial to you. Maybe someone from another country or another race, another culture. This could also be about matters with television as well, because Uranus can be associated with that, and even a reforming urge. If this is a time where you're trying to reform something or play some prominent role with that, if you're like some social reform or working in some kind of reformation, one or reforming type of field or what have you, this could be that time where you might where you it's about making more progress in that area. And it could also be too, I mean, these are issues again associated with freedom and independence. Say for example, if you have Uranus in Scorpio in your seventh house and the transit north node is making a conjunction to it, this could manifest in some cases. It may be about ability more to extricate yourself from maybe a controlling relationship, because Scorpio could be very powerful, controlling energy, domineering energy, and you're talking about the seventh house is the house of relationships. The seventh house also is associated with open adversaries. So it could also be for somebody else, it could manifest differently. It could be a stalker that maybe you're actually able to free yourself from, which was basically an open enemy at the time. So, and also too, when you're talking about the North Node and hitting Uranus in your chart, North Node could be about the development of the qualities associated with the planet and sign and house it resides in. Now, let's take for example, this could be like, say, if somebody has Uranus in Pisces in their fifth house in their natal chart. This may manifest in the development, maybe of doing something with computers, a computer, which computers are associated with Uranus, a computer fantasy, Pisces, and then game, which is the fifth house. And or it could be some original, which is Uranus, hypothetical Pisces sports matchups, which could be again the fifth house. This is about like a sports simulation game where you're pitting two teams from different years against each other and playing them in a simulated hypothetical sports matchup. Now, a period of time, this could also manifest when you're talking about the North Node in transit and hitting Uranus. Uranus is, I mean, about uniqueness, things that are different. And when you're looking at this, this could be a time where you're talking about the North Node being associated with one's future and destiny. This could be about a time where you're destined perhaps to be free from some monotonous situation. It could be, like say if this is in Capricorn, it could be a career-related matter. Say if it was in the sixth house, that would be part of your daily routine. Of course, and it would be more emphasized. Careers are often part of the daily routine, but it could be something that might be, if it's in the sixth house, it might be really more regiments as far as the time. You're coming to work and out very consistently, and being in Capricorn very consistently, the same time and whatever, and the same general schedule, day to day. It could also be, when we're looking at this, could be about the future of doing something unique and completely different than what you were acclimated to previously. And say if you have this say if this is in Leo, in the ninth house as an example, if you have the natal Uranus in Leo in your ninth house, that could be about perhaps increased extroversion, coming perhaps to your future being tied in with increased extroversion and gregariousness with in-laws and grandchildren, and doing and expressing this energy perhaps through traveling abroad, through foreigners, people that might be of a different ethnicity, culture, creed, and expressing self-assuredness and confidence to expand horizons is another way that could pan out. Now, this transit can also be, in some cases, this could be about in Uranus's spontaneous energy, it could be about very spontaneous, unexpected events may transpire at this time when you have this transit. I mean, let's say, for example, if this is Uranus in Aquarius, this could be about internet friendships, that might come very surprisingly. It might be doing something, with television. I mean, Uranus could be about television associated with something Aquarius related, which could be, manifold of things. It could be astrology, astronomy, something with computers, and innovation, anything that could be Aquarius related, esoteric subjects in general, talking about outer space or science fiction. Those are in just the future in general. So, anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.